guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, and if you're not, welcome back. As I've mentioned a couple times in my previous videos, this month is going to be a bit different video-wise. I thought I should probably get you guys my budget before I tried doing any check-ins or cash envelope stuffing, so that's what this video is. I am going to do a budget with me video at the beginning of each month, and check in on my previous month's budget in that first week, and the budget with me is actually going to be me filling in numbers, doing the math and whatnot while you're here. However, because this month I started my channel late, I had to get my budget down. It is very rough because I don't have whiteout and I just pretty much wanted to get it down. And then there's also some pencil, which signifies what I've already paid for April already. I'll kind of explain as I go along why those totals might be different than what I had budgeted if they already have the penciled in total. But yeah, and so without further ado, here is my budget. So I did the income here at the top. This month is special because I do get a GST check. I get that check every, 3 months, 4 times a year. However, I've been told that this amount is going to go down and eventually disappear because I am making so much. So this was kind of my last paycheck of the 2018 year or 2017 year, so now I'm going to be paid GST based on my 2018 earnings. I think that's how it works. I'll find out when I get the mail saying like you're gonna get this much GST. Anyway, so this is paid in the first of the month, so you'll notice in paycheck 1 that my total is going to be larger than what it is in paycheck 2, and that's because I included the GST check with my paycheck 1. So for my total income, I have $1,236.37, and that is my take-home pay. It is after deductions and all of that jazz. So I get that twice a month, 3 times. I get 2 months where I do have 3 paychecks, and I'm excited for those. I added it to the GST, which was $2,611.65. And so that is my total income for the month of April. Now, the way I've kind of done this is I've split everything into monthly expenses and electronic payments, which is stuff I'm not going to touch. It's going to sit in my bank account until either that money is taken out or until I get another paycheck. In the case of my snowball, like I get the first paycheck of the next month, so I can move this money onto my student loan. And then I do have a section that's specifically for my cash envelopes and sinking funds, which is going to be paid completely with cash. So let's move on. So for my rent, it's the one category that I am a month ahead on. So basically these 2 paychecks, I'm collecting the money for my May rent. I did say I spent $520, but that's because my April rent came out, which I had the money from March. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. So because I have $520 in rent that's due the first week of May of the month, I do set aside $260 for each paycheck so that I do have that $520 in time for the first of each month. My phone is a bit special this month. It's more expensive than I anticipated. I was really fed up with my previous carrier. I'm now with another carrier where I do get a bit of a cheaper rate. However, I did have to pay to set the one-time connection fee, so it was more expensive. And I still had to pay $10 from the previous bill that the new carrier didn't pay off. So it is kind of expensive this month. It was $101.97 when I was budgeting for $51.50, which is why the $25.75 was set aside for each paycheck, because that wasn't due till the 25th, and I got paid on the 25th, so it would have been fine. But unfortunately, it was not to be, and I've overspent in that category. Hopefully, I can make some of my bills, which are flexible, I can make up the amount here with those more flexible bills. But if not, I am going to have to dig into my debt snowball, which I don't want to do, but I need to pay that. Like, I need to be able to pay that. So unfortunately, that's a non-success story. But I have more good news. Yay! So moving down to my electricity, the most I've ever paid is $300 bi-monthly. And I'm going to set this aside every month. If I don't have an electricity bill due, or it's less than that amount, then that money is going to go towards my debt snowball. And I'm just doing this so that I know that I do have, even if I do go over that 300, I'm going to have a little bit extra, because I won't make that debt snowball payment until the first paycheck of the month. And usually by the first paycheck of the month that I get my electricity bill, I have received my electricity bill, so I know what I need to cover. And if it's more, then I'll just take some of the money I had budgeted from the previous month and add it on to what I had budgeted for this month. If that, I really hope that made sense. Guys, sorry, I sometimes ramble. If you want to learn more about how I'm planning to do my finances and whatnot, especially concerning electricity, do go watch my introduction video. I explain it when I'm talking about my rules. And if you have any questions, please make sure to ask them in the comments. I will actually explain it better, I promise. Or try and explain it in a different way so that you do understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, back to my budget. So $300 total, which is $150 off of each paycheck. My power bill came in, although I haven't paid it, and I won't pay it until the day after my second paycheck comes in, which is the 26th this month. And it was $267.56, which means I have $32.44 extra. But of course, that is going to go towards paying what I overspent on my phone bill. So yeah, for Netflix, I do have an account that I pay for and my family uses. So and I do know it's $13.99, but I set aside the $7 to make twice a month to make the $14, because it's just a lot easier, guys, than trying to get exact. And it's a penny. It's not going to make a big deal. Although I guess we don't have pennies anymore. But yeah, no. So Netflix, I set aside $7 each paycheck for a $14 total at the end of the month. And again, I did get this bill. It hasn't come out of my account yet because I use PayPal, and with it being with the due date falling on a weekend and a holiday weekend to boot, it just hasn't had a chance to go through to take the money from my bank account to PayPal. So for my bank, I do get charged for my checking account. I do have the cheapest plan, which only allows me, I think it's 12 transactions every month through that account, which is why I use my credit card as a debit card more like. And again, if you want to hear more about that introduction video, or ask me questions and I'll answer them. I just don't want to, that would make this video way longer than it probably is already going to be. So the most I've ever paid for this is $22.50, because I didn't realize that my account had switched over, and so and they charge you $1.25 for every extra transaction over what you have. So I am going to set aside the $22.50 just in case, but again, that's going to be a matter of, I'm probably going to have some extra that, because I haven't spent that much since the first month my account switched over and they didn't really tell me. So I will probably have extra. And again, that'll go first towards paying this extra money for my phone bill off. And then if I have any left, it'll go towards my debt snowball. So my provincial loan is $107.71, I want to say. But anyway, so I figured it out. I split it in two because it comes out at the end of the month. And from each paycheck, I'm taking $53.86 to put towards my provincial loan minimum payment. My federal loan minimum payment is $513 and something cents. I can't remember. But I figured it out, split in half because it is due on the same day that the provincial loan is due at the end of the month. It is $256.77. So those will both come out at the end of the month. For savings, I have it set so that my credit union automatically takes $50 out of my paycheck before I even see that money in my account, which is good. It adds to my savings, and I can't touch that money. I've made it so that I don't actually have a debit card for that account because it is my emergency fund, and it has worked really well. I haven't touched it yet, and I haven't needed to, other than for some things that I wanted, which I deny myself because it's a hassle to get to this money. For my insurance, it's actually $17.16, but in my budgeting app I had it set at $17.50 because I couldn't remember the exact amount, so that's what I put here. It is due on the 15th of each month, and because it is due on the 15th, and usually I get my first paycheck of the month before the 15th, I decided to just put it all on that, take it all from that paycheck because it is a very small amount, so there's no problem taking it from that one paycheck. And then for my debt snowball, I did decide, and again, this is where it comes in that I didn't have whiteout. I did decide that I could do $168.15 in the first paycheck and $73.87 from the second paycheck. And this is because what I did was I totaled all of these expenses minus, I didn't have a total for the debt snowball at that point. So I totaled all of these. I totaled my cash envelopes and sinking funds as well to see how much that would come to, and then I took it away from this $1,236.37 plus the $138.91 because I got that at the first of the month. Therefore, I wrapped it in with my paycheck one, and it told me that I would have X amount. So I subtracted all of the total of my monthly expenses and my cash envelopes from this $1,000.28, and I got this $168.15. So that's where I got that, and I did the same thing for this one here, except I didn't include the GST payment because that had already been spent with my paycheck one. So it just came from the $1,236.37 that would be my paycheck regularly. Oh, and that might slightly change because I guess cost of living went up, so they're applying an increase to our hours from April 1st onward. So I'll probably get a slightly higher check because of that, especially because this one didn't include it, so I'm going to get it all on this one. So we'll see what that is, and I'll likely put it towards paying off this extra, and then anything else will go towards my debt snowball. So that's all my electronic payments or monthly expenses. Moving on to my cash envelopes and sinking funds. Again, this total is going to be a bit different based on my grocery amount, which I will explain when I get there, but also because my gifts, I did double it this month because, and I will explain that when I get to that line. So for giving, I do tithe to my church. So So I figured it out, and it's about $120 roughly, which I know isn't probably an exact amount, but yes, I do need to do that math a bit better. But anyway, so it's $240 monthly, and that means I take $120 from each paycheck to set aside for that and take that to church every Sunday. For restaurants, right now it's quite expensive because I do still have hockey games that I attend, and while I could take supper, it's a hassle to fit 2 lunch things into my bag, and then by the time the hockey game's halfway over, I'm starving. So I just let myself go to somewhere cheap like McDonald's or a nearby pub that has everything $5 or whatnot. Just something cheap and easy that I can enjoy. So I do budget $60 for that for this month. Next month it might be a bit more because there is a huge tournament, and so I think there's like a week and a half where I'm gonna need at least 2, 3 or 4, or well, probably more than that. So I do want to potentially increase this next month, but you'll see that when I do next month's budget. For fun money, I do allot myself $40 total, which means I get $20 each paycheck. This is a little, I want to say it's a little low, but like I said, I want to, in my intro video, I do want to get my debt paid off as quickly as possible. So this is just something that I might flex depending on what's going on. Like again, next month there's a hockey tournament. I'll probably want to get a souvenir or something, so I might have to up the amount because it's probably going to be much more expensive than I really would usually pay. But because it's a once in a blue moon kind of thing, because I think this is the first time we're hosting it in 10 years, maybe even longer, I'm potentially going to up that amount, but we'll see next month. For groceries, I do budget $125 for my groceries. I decided to, instead of splitting it in half, to load it more towards the front because I do tend to run out of bread and milk more towards the beginning of the month than the end. So I split it into $65, and then my second paycheck will be $60, and that'll give me my total of $125. And we'll see if I really need it that high. I'm not sure, and maybe these 2 months aren't the best time to judge because I am getting my wisdom teeth out next month, so I do have to buy stuff that's more liquid, less chewy, but we'll figure it out as we go along. For my bus pass, it's $79, I believe, a month. But again, it was just easier to do the $40 each paycheck, and then I'll have some extra money which will go into my my change envelopes, and then that'll be put towards my debt at the end of the year. If you want to learn more, go check out my intro video. I know I keep saying that, but it's a good video to see. I do have a trip coming up with my church in June, the end of June, the 1st of July, to the US and a sister church there. And I hadn't been saving for it because I just figured, I'll just use my paycheck number 2. And then I realized, I'm still going to have bills and stuff that needs to come out of that. So I should actually start saving up. So right now I've decided to set it at $100 a month, which is evenly split into the $50 for each paycheck. And then for my gifts, I added more on paycheck number 1 because 1, I was just starting this fund, and 2, I'm hitting that busy time where I've got at least a birthday a month that I need to get gifts for people for the next 4 months. Yeah, I believe 4 months. And then, so I needed to get, with paycheck number 1, I needed to get gifts, and I decided to set my maximum for anyone at $50. I'm not planning to reach that amount, but I wanted to have it just in case, so I did take $50 from paycheck number 1, But from paycheck number 2 and moving forward in the following months, it is just going to be $25 every paycheck. So yes, so I totaled all of this up and it was $375. I went to the bank, I got that money. It's now in my envelopes. I've spent some of it. I will do a bi-weekly check-in after I get paid on Thursday so that you know how much money I spent from these envelopes in paycheck number 1, and then I'll probably do a cash envelope stuffing video shortly after that for paycheck number 2, because I do anticipate, because of the lessening of the gifts amount and the $5 less for my groceries, it is going to be only $345 that I'm going to have to get from the bank on Thursday when I get paid. So that is my budget for the month. And I am just going to point out that I do have these 2 little things at the bottom, which is going to be my total savings for the month, which is everything I've saved plus what I have already saved. This is going to be a bit more than it's going to be next month when I have to take some of my savings to pay for what insurance doesn't pay for my wisdom teeth extraction, which is slightly sad, but oh well, at least I have enough that I can cover that without having to worry. And then I am also going to state my total debt payment for the month, so that's going to be my snowball payment, which I will make sure is separate, plus my minimum payments, and I'll basically do my minimum payments plus my snowball payment, and that's going to be my total for the month. And I will show you guys that so that you know how much I've managed to put aside for debt. But that is my budget explained. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to see me explain in more depth or whatnot, let me know down in the comments below. Please make sure that you like this video, and if you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again. Bye!